We're back at it.
Yes, we are. Hello.
Good afternoon, and it is time for the monthly
Stat Live time. Oh my god.
Oh,
I'll work
Joe.
on that.
Joe, we need your little hand there. Joe, go just.
Can you tap on the screen?
We always in some type of technical upheaval.
Yep.
No, don't even try. It's always, I was watching a show on Bill O'Reilly, and I think it was when he just flips out on my camera. And it's an old clip from years ago. It was an Inside Edition. Just go live. I'll do it live. I'll do it live. I'll play it afterwards.
Yeah,
it's funny.
I'm curious.
It's a funny YouTube viral clip from back in, I guess it was the 90s anyway. It made its way around the internet. But anyway, it's an interesting time, and Keri's doing a shoulder thing.
You know what? I didn't even notice I was doing that.
Yeah, we always go over, it's funny because we do these things, and there's always we're going to do a special TikTok on all our mannerisms.
Okay. I think that would be good.
We're going to play out each other's mannerisms right on TikTok for everyone to enjoy and really kind of get a good laugh at all the little quirks.
Yes.
Yes.
That'd be a good idea. We'll work on it.
I could have just said, let me stop. I don't know if it's, I don't want to say that, I changed age, but I feel like I just say things now that I just blurt stuff out.
Yeah.
Yeah? Are you saying I do? It's like one of those things as you get older, it's just just say it.
Yeah, it's good to be like that.
I'm starting to become like a version of Yahona. I'll get my Albanian side.
Oh, yeah. Your Albanian side.
Just say whatever comes to your mind. Anyway, we're here giving you the live stat report, and so we always have to have a gag because nothing in Prodigy Real Estate ever goes without a little humor or a glitch of some sort.
Yeah, it's always something.
It's always something. But we're going to give you, it's kind of like the stats. They're glitchy too.
Yeah.
So giving you in a strange time, strange circumstance, strange market, strange times. And it's just absolutely, when I tell you, it's really just one of those types of markets where you could really just lose your mind in the numbers. But it is the numbers we're going to give you. And in this crazy rates coming over 8%, last year they came to 7.7, 7.8, and it took a toll on the market. Prices went down last year about 5% as of February, so it took a little while for that kind of circulate through the market. You won't see the prices come down a little bit, but we're starting to see. Don't fall asleep on me, Keri.
Sorry. I need my second coffee.
Yeah, Keri's zoning out over there.
No.
I'm going to start asking you the questions. You're going to be answering me. We want to reverse chairs. No.
I'll sit on that side. You sit on this side.
Okay, we'll do that. But anyway, let's get on to what the craziness of this market has for you guys, because we are a real estate company, not a comedy show yet.
Yeah.
Or some other kind of show, whatever you want to call it. But we're just going to really get into those numbers and see what we have for you guys. So let's get into it, Keri. What do you got for me? Keri Q.
Keri Q.
You're on the queue.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to start with months of inventory.
Yes.
So year over year, months inventory is down 13%. So this September, it's 4.6%. Last September, 5.3%. But month over month, it is up, though.
Yes.
17.8%. Now,
there's your slowdown.
What's your?
It's indicative of interest rates. So You're starting to see a little bit more of a tick up after a very robust. Now, spring this year, very robust market. Interest rate hikes back in July have really, I mean, the FOMC and the Fed raised the rate. But like I said, it's not based on that per se. It's based on 10-year treasuries, which has had really a big sell-off. So treasuries have been sold, which is creating yields to rise. So the bond markets are not great. You know, I talked to a couple of people. Bond markets are not the best in the world right now. So I think we're really seeing some things play out, like with the 10-year treasury, which it's unusual to see the like these numbers like. So let's get back to the averages here. So basically, that 14% decrease. So it's a decrease from last year, right? So is that 5? So you know, there's an unwinding here. So after the hot spring really came down, those numbers were really down. I think it was down to 3 last month, the prior month before the last report. So, but it's been it's on the rise again. So the month's inventory, home sales continue to be weighed down by interest rates. There's no doubt about it. The slowing of the speed of home sales is palpable. So you're starting to see, but we're really not going to see the reflection of this until this is October. So we're looking at November stats, December stats are really going to bear this out for everyone. January, we're going to see, it's hard to say January, like that's the next quarter. Like
I know, it's my birthday month though. So
yeah, you're only 23.
Yes.
And that's like, oh, you're going to be 24.
Yeah.
You are just aging yourself through this place.
I know, I started here when I was
22.
22, yeah. Ooh.
Wow. Everybody's getting old. Jeez.
No.
Time for those doctor's appointments. Anyway, not for Keri. But anyway, the big thing is with these markets being what they are, we're going to see months inventory increase. Although you won't see one thing happen. I don't see prices dropping yet, and I think we're going to be looking at that foreclosure situation very closely, because I think the one thing that has been and this is the Fed is after this. I just saw another report today that the Fed is after jobs.
After jobs?
Yes, they want unemployment to rise. That is. I looked at the minutes before we came on early this morning just to read through the minutes of the FOMC, which is the Fed meeting, and to hear what they're saying. And they want unemployment. The base,
so
it's a strange thing, is that they're pushing the envelope for interest rates. So there's another meeting coming up next month. They're projecting to hold rates steady, and I'm telling you this now, and I said it in the last live. They're not going to raise rates again. I don't believe it's going to happen. We're in a very. It's not a good. I've been reading some things lately about the general state of the economy, how people feel about it. People are not. They're not happy about what's going on in the economy in general. So that's not and that's kind of bearing itself out in the housing market. Even though prices have not come down, volumes are really low. So and that's showing its head. Because when we talk about months inventory, we're not talking about the decrease in the amount of available listings that are out there. You know, so active. It's like, I mean, the active, what's the active, just so I know, from last year to this year?
Last year to this year, it's down 25.3%.
25% decrease in active listings. So when you talk about that, like, that's a quarter of the market from a year ago. And that's where the prices are holding their own. That's where, like, when we talk about the numbers, that's where they're holding their own. But we can get into that in a little bit. And I think that's where you did the decrease in active to new listings. We actually hit that market dynamic on the second question, which you were going to go. Yeah. So, again, where we're talking about is It's a 25% decrease in the amount of active listings. That is absolutely, that's another 25% down. But that's compounded. So that's 25% last year, which is basically 25% less than the year before that. So we're talking year over year. We're not even talking about the out years. This is 2 years of declines in active listings. It's mind-blowing, to say the least.
Yeah. New listings are down 20%
So yeah,
year over year. So
people it's a frozen market. And that's a noticeable trend, the frozen housing market. So it's like, what you're seeing is people like being REITs are 8%. They feel like they're not going to get the number for their house, so let's not push the envelope, right? They're not going to get the number, and they say, okay, we're going to wait on the sideline. And I don't want to leave my 4% mortgage to go to something for 8% if I got to take a mortgage. So, and people are preferring to buy all cash if that's the case. So, like, if there people who have very good equity positions, but the erosion is that for home buyers that are on the sideline, where does that tipping point exist between prices, interest rates, and everything else? But my prediction on this is that you're going to see a Fed pivot, which is they're going to start, I think, after they see the holiday sales numbers, which is like the Black Friday events. We went into this a little bit before. When they see these sales numbers that are going to be coming out, because the consumer is stressed. High interest rates. You just got a credit card, so I don't know if you're paying interest rates. Usury fees 33.5%.
I'm good with my credit card.
Good.
I'm good with it.
I'm not so sure about the other fan in the room.
No,
Keep it up with those credit cards. Joe, she's quiet. That means absolutely not.
It's up, but I'm paying it.
Oh, okay. She's like the rest of America. You gotta feed the urge. Anyway, so but that's and that's it. But that's I just read in a report. I mean, and I must be mad because all I do is read reports. It's something's wrong with me. My wife tells me all the time, "How much stuff could you read?" I'm like, I know. I'm a basket case for reading stats and data and listening to prognosticators talk about. I like to listen to just what the people say in the market and how ridiculous they don't understand numbers, and then you listen to them and they don't even know what they're talking about. But anyway, let's get into the next question. I'm rambling.
Do you notice any specific property types like being sold more?
I think the one thing that's been resilient in this market is the continuance of it's okay. We're like a newsroom.
For real.
Yeah, it's like the 70s. The phone rings in the newsroom still. But anyway, what you're going to look at, what you're going to look at is basically the year-over-year numbers on. I'm lost track.
I asked if there was any
Specific, yes. The year-over-year numbers on condos and co-ops. Sorry, I lost train of thought there. I'm starting to show my age. Anyway, so the numbers, that's where a lot of movement is. The lower priced condos and co-ops continue to be a premium in this market. So, they're in the lowest of price tiers, the easiest to qualify for. I mean, on the co-ops, on the condo side. So, and most people could sell and afford to move down into something like that. But again, there's not a whole bunch of inventory there. So the big number that you're going to see is condos and co-op sales. I don't have the exact number on co-op sales, but they're robust. I mean, they're still in this market. It's as an affordable option. People are seeking these out more and more. I mean, housing affordability is a problem. So that's, which, you know, which some prognosticators say that that's a key tipping point in the market, that they think that it's in the decline, because historically it's shown that when home affordability, but the market dynamics are so much different because of inflation that people, I think people weigh into the fact that how much money has been created. That's not, so it's like they're basing like on all things being equal, except the money supply being the issue here. So prices are definitely reflective of inflation. So the dollars are just buying less. It's not that the value of a home is getting to be more, just like bread.
Bread.
Bread, bacon, whatever you want to eat, whatever you want to buy.
Eggs.
Eggs. That's it. That's Joe's favorite. She always talks about the price of eggs on each live. I don't know how many lives we've done when we talk about eggs, but we talk about them a lot.
Yeah.
Is that why you brought the eggs up?
Every live we should mention eggs. $4.25.
She always knows the egg prices because she wants to buy chickens
Chicken.
for the yard. She's gonna be doing the. You know, we're getting into that. I was watching. Damn that TikTok.
What?
They have a garden on the roof of the Javits Center now.
The Javits Center?
In Manhattan.
I don't know
Like,
that.
well, it's where they have the car show, and it's like a big convention hall. And I'm saying they have a full community garden. They're growing their vegetables up there.
Wow, that's interesting. In the
I was like, in the middle of the city, there's this. I mean, and the Javits
Saturday.
Center is a big space.
Yeah.
So the roof of the place was turned into. So that's what inflation has
Wow, I'm
done.
gonna
People
look
have gone to making their Brussels sprouts on the roof.
Wow, of the city. I don't know how that would.
On the roof of buildings.
I don't know if I would eat that.
And Joe's going to be making a chicken coop soon. So
Free eggs for us.
I think, goats?
Goats?
Goats? Don't you say goats make good milk? There you go.
Goats
Anyway.
make good milk.
Yeah.
You're
There are
right
also
here.
goats are on the rise too, along with house prices. So anyway, let's get to the next thing. We're being a little silly today. It's a wacky kind of day.
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Yes, terrific Tuesdays.
Perfect Tuesday. Okay. I lost my train of thought now. Okay. Average days on market.
Yes.
What factors might be contributing to the property staying on the market longer?
Oh, jeez. Basically, the fact that it costs twice as much as it did about 18 months ago to hold a mortgage. So I mean, it's a simple. That's a simple like one-off. I mean, it's not too complicated there. You know, it's a slowing market, and people who are out there selling. This is. Boy, I tell you, when things are good, people don't know when they're good, and when things are bad, people don't know when they're bad. This is just a market that's not bad at all. I mean, we have multiple offers on a lot of houses. If the house is in good shape and a good location, there's still multiple offers, and they're going higher than the latest highest price. It happens. And I think people get too caught up in the idea of the macro market, and they're like, oh, it's just bad. You have to really see, and each individual property has its own merits. So let's kind of keep the eye on the ball as far as like, you should not be paying attention to the broader market to make a decision on whether you're selling, because there are prices that are up there. Certain markets, certain portions of the market, like you said, the condo and co-op markets are doing extremely well. If you're in the condo and co-op, it's a darn good time to sell. This is a seller market beyond belief. You're going to get numbers in those condos and co-ops. It's definitely showing up. So if you're in those units and you look at the move, that's just, the market's robust there. Some parts of the market aren't as great. As you move to the higher ends of the market, interest rates are starting to really take a little bit of toll on like what's going on with the market. So you got to bear that in mind. But I don't think. And folks, this is a long-term situation. I want to make that clear. I don't see a short term, like we're getting out of this. Like we're gonna flip the switch and like
No.
just like after the pandemic when it was like off to the races. When the doors opened, the houses sold. Rates were at I mean at one time rates were at like 2.5%. It was off the wall.
Yeah, my cousin was over last night and she said that that's what she got her house at for interest rates, 2.5%.
Does she want to sell?
I could have.
No, it's okay. But anyway, we're gonna try to sell JoJo's house next month. She's like the sale by owner before, so we gotta really collect some of these listings here. So anyway,
well, another thing, sold listings are down 16.9%. So that shows that there's like a slow market.
yeah.
Also, right?
Yes, Keri.
Yes.
A 16% decline.
Just to
we
point
do
that
those.
out there.
Yeah,
month over month, though.
That's month over month. That's
It's
just
down year over year, also.
month over month. I mean, some of that's seasonal. So I mean, seasonal averages take into account for like the declining numbers there. So I mean, it's not. September's not a big closing month. You know, usually your June's are pretty big. June through August are like the big months. Not particularly concerned. What is it year over year?
Year over year, it's 14%. Down 14%.
That's year over year from the year over year prior year. So when you talk about yes, so that's specific. And that's why people don't get comfortable with the idea that things can't come down in price. I think I think there's a few times in the market where it's like it comes time to sell, and if you're in the position you have to sell, you should really count that as a factor. I definitely think with 8%, the only thing when sales are declining, even though prices are staying the same, the sale prices are not a leading indicator; they're a trailing one. So, and when you start seeing those amount of sales dropping like this, it doesn't take a little bit more inventory to then start seeing prices come down a little bit. But that's something we're really going to wait and see on because this is so freaky. I can't give you an answer to how. This is one of the strangest markets you'll ever see, ever. And will we ever see it again? A lot of phony money out. A lot of funny money. Too much funny money in the economy is making predictability of such events almost impossible. So, bond yields there'll be a sell-off in bonds and a sell-off in stocks at the same day. It's just it's strange things. You see bond yields going up and the stock market going down, and that's not common. But it's just strange times.
Yeah.
Stranger things.
Stranger Things. Good show. Okay. Let's talk about the sold average listings.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay, so that is actually up 2.8% year over year.
We sold active average.
Sold average listings.
Yeah, sold average listing. Okay, that's the sold average listing price.
Yes.
Yeah, homeowners are still this, which is, I think, relatively in line. I mean, it's still ahead of the market, which is now bearing about. I think home prices overall, month over month, year over year, are at like a 0.68, not even a full percent up, right? Or something like around there. The sold median.
Sold median
is up a little bit.
The sale?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's up like 0.6.
Yeah, 0.6.
No, 0.96, sorry.
0.96. Yeah. Just a little under a point. So sold prices are basically, I would say, they're no different than they were a year ago. So basically, the market's kind of settled itself out at this number, at the number, a 0.9, 0.6. It's not something that I'm looking at as far as like sales prices have not increased. In New Jersey, they're still on the rise, and we'll do that next week. But I mean, sale prices are not. They're not going anywhere. There's nothing in the foreseeable cards that I see prices coming down too much more based on the inventory. But I'm going to say it again. I don't know if we were live before, but the jobs market. Was that when we first went on? The Fed is trying to kill jobs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was the first one.
I think,
We got a little technical glitch. So basically what's happening is that what's holding the housing market up is that the job markets, although have soured, there's not been as many layoffs. And because of that, there's still income to support households. And I read the FOMC meeting minutes, and one of the things was they're trying to increase unemployment. Yeah, we were talking about that. We got a little technical, but they're trying to increase unemployment. That's the goal of the Fed right now. They want because they feel that if there's unemployment, people won't spend money, they won't have money to spend, and it'll drive costs down. But that won't. I mean, it's inflation. They feel that's a hedge against inflation, but I think the difference between this economy and other economies is how much funny money is being processed in especially in housing. So housing is, I mean, we talked about this for a bit, but like housing is continuously being subsidized, and I think one of the things is that the market's not really bearing out what a true market really looks like, because there's just so much money being pumped into real estate. So, we have a lot of housing programs.
Sorry.
You have a little child
I'm
coming to
getting
see?
stuck, yeah.
I'm trying to cross the lake. These chairs are uncomfortable.
They're so
We found the
uncomfortable.
other chairs in the other office.
Bless you.
There's another. We use another office as well, and those. I think we were in there, and I think Joe just sat in the chair and says, "These chairs we need for the lives."
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
I'm excited to try them out.
Yeah. Look at me doing it on bean bags. That's our next chair. Those bean chairs?
Oh, I love bean bags, yeah.
Yeah, you're sitting in bean bags doing the lives. But yeah, I heard that's the never mind. I was gonna say something else.
Bean bags.
Yeah. Bean bags is the luxury lounge chair.
Hey, I would like that.
Yeah.
But
only if you're living in Los Angeles.
only Los Angeles?
No. It's a joke. Anyway.
Let's go to are sellers typically receiving offers closer to their listing price? Since we talked about
What's the sales to list price ratio? Is it 98?
sale to list, it's this month. It's
98.
97.8.
Yeah, it was 98 basically. There's no change there. There's nothing palpable to really hang your hat on. It's been the same. It's been hanging around that 97 mark. I'm going to say this though. It's going to get. The rates are going to cause this to really decrease in the next couple of reports that are going to come out. You're going to start seeing these rates really take some toll on that sales to list price ratio. I definitely think those overpriced sellers will definitely show their hand when push comes to shove, and it's not going to take long. I think that's held its own. It's one of the leading indicators. We always say sales to list price ratio is always a leading indicator. So we need to be looking at that carefully. I haven't seen anything staggering in those numbers. Last year, I think it bowed down to 95. So it almost came down 4%. So people were giving 4% discounts, 4.5% during that 7.6, 7.7 interest rate run we had. I believe it was around this time last year, around October, late October, November. It was wild. That was a wild jump downward. And I have a lot of people saying now it's the market is very it's lower than people want to admit, but I still see things going over ask price because you just don't have anything to choose from. It's not 2006. If this was all things being equal, if this was anything similar, this would be we would see prices really come down. If the inventory was up where it was back then, now you got to remember the difference between houses. There was almost 5,000 houses on the market in 2006.
Wow, it's
Almost
not even
five.
close to that now.
We're like 1/5.
Yeah.
1/5 of, or 1/4, a quarter. So
Yeah.
70%, 75% of the market was not even in play during that time. So you had so many houses on the market. Now you have so few. And that's the only supporting function of the market we're in is low inventory. If that was to change, I mean, it would be, you're going to see numbers that we haven't seen in terms of housing sale volume that you haven't seen in a while, which I think we're going to dip under that 200, under 200 number of sales for the month. What was it last month? How many, do we actually have the number of actual sales for the month?
The sales for the month.
Total sales. I don't think we have it.
No, I don't
Yeah.
have it. Sorry.
It's okay. The total sales, I believe, we were looking at that.
Sold average sale?
No, just the amount. How many actually houses were sold. The volume. It's no big deal. Not a big deal. But if we get under that 200 number, you're going to see things get really. That's what I call that's the Mendoza line for Staten Island anyway. 200 sales is like you're questioning them. You're really questioning the market when you start going on to 200. It happened last year. Last year was the first time since 2000, since I've been doing stats, 2010 was like at the lowest. Believe it or not, it took from 2006, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Like it took till 2010 for the market to hit its bottom. So 4 years.
Oh.
So by the time that 4 years was up, it was really something to behold. I mean, that's when the bottom. So it was. We were talking about home sales that I believe a couple of months they didn't even break 140 home sales, and you talked about months inventory was at like 18 months. 18 months.
18.
Yes, months inventory. We're talking about 4 months now. We're talking about a whole year, like a year and a half's worth of real estate on the market back then compared to like, I mean, we were at 3. So like we're not. It's such a wildly different environment. That's why I say to people who are saying, "Oh, the market's going to," no, the numbers are completely different there. The supply demand curve is at a different point. And that's what you always want to look for. Is like that's so you can't build correlations on the fact that that's one of the factors. Housing affordability is something that I'm watching now. Like that number is not. They've not proceeded. That what's preceded, which actually followed, not preceded, but followed like when it's reached a historical high. These things have bounced down. So I mean, if you look in the history. But history is no guide for today, especially when there's so much artificialness in it. Everything's artificial now.
Yeah.
Everything.
I know, it's not good.
Artificial.
Artificial.
Artificial. How many things do you know are artificial?
I don't know. How many do you know?
I know a lot.
A lot?
Yeah, I'm older than you. As you get older, you start to know what's artificial and what's
Like what?
Joe's between the two of us. So she's got half of the artificial stuff down. And she's not gonna let. No, I gotta throw some like stuff in here because we gotta make some laughter. But anyway, the numbers are being supported by artificial elements, and this is why this continues to be a perplexing environment. But we're close, guys. If that job number comes, if layoffs are in the cards and people are forced to sell, not going to be good. And I don't think the Fed could afford to do this. So to raise the rates again, they're not putting them up. They're not. There's a very low chance they're going to do it in the next meeting, even lower chance than the next one. And I think right now the economy is absolutely sputtering. From what you just hear on the street, it's not great. But yeah, we're on the 10-minute, we're at the 10-minute warning on the phone battery life. We already had some mishaps.
Yes.
But anyway, there we go. Did you see a finger in the camera? Don't worry, it wasn't the wrong finger. It was the pointer finger. That was just the pointer. But anyway, so what we're going to be talking about is there's really little movement in real estate, and that's really what sums up this report.
Yeah.
It's a slower, more concentrated market. Mm-hmm. Slower home sales, stable prices, inventory keeps coming down, and as long as those factors are in play, there may be nothing less. We will be selling, we'll be selling. Go on a camera, but we'll be selling like we're gonna have to sell like fractional real estate. We're gonna have to sell like parts of people's lawns and stuff like that if it keeps.
Oh my God! Imagine.
You're gonna sell your lawn for a garden. So I mean that's what it's coming down to here, folks. You know, it's really there's not much out there, and I like what's gonna be. What's going to be left to sell, with the market constraints being what they are. So, and we're definitely on top of it. So stay tuned to keeping abreast of the market. You had another question? Or
Oh.
was it?
Yeah, I have questions.
This is one of the stranger segments. It's a little fragmented. Yeah, we had an interruption. It's kind of set us off.
Sorry. I was just going to ask, based on the current data, what do you project for Staten Island's real estate market?
Yeah, which basically a little sum up is a contraction for the rest of 2023. I think the first quarter of 2024, things will begin to unwind itself in two ways. There's two ways this is going to go. Unemployment numbers come up. More houses come on the market, home affordability, all those factors come in, and we're going to see the first price declines. Or the Fed pivots backwards and says, we're going to lower interest rates. Again, not tied to mortgage rates, but they do affect them because the 10-year treasury, everything kind of intermingled with interest rates to begin with. Mm-hmm. Interest rates can come down. The question is, I think there's more bigger macro things in the cards here. Is if there's a bond still up 10-year treasuries, which is like a reserve. It is a reserve for many international banks and things like that to hedge against potential losses. So we are looking at it from the standpoint is there going to be a sell? Are international sellers basically driving prices down, and they're selling 10-year treasuries, which is being held by other countries that hold our debt. Mm. So that's an interesting wrinkle that we'll have to see how that plays out, because 10-year treasuries are not. They're at some pretty big highs right now, but international selling of treasuries can definitely drive up yields, and because they drive up the yields because it makes it attractive for buyers of treasuries to get a high yields. That's why you have to raise the yield in order to get a buyer for a treasury. So if things don't pan out with selling those bonds, mortgage rates will not be better. I mean, it's not going to be better until that we see people buying 10-year treasuries again. And that's one of the things we haven't really calculated, and that's something we need to pay attention to. I don't know what's driving the 10-year treasury market right now. It's hard to understand why there's a sell-off. So that's what's causing the rates to rise.
Yeah.
So it's just not. It's unusual. That's all I can say. It's a strange occurrence. What's going on with treasury yields? Someone's selling a lot of them. I don't know who. Yeah, they're selling treasuries at like alarming rates in order to get these rates. I mean, they're spiking. There's big sell-offs in order to drive prices, drive yields as high as they have in the last month. That's where that's coming from. I can't tell you, but it's definitely somebody who's holding a lot of U.S. debt is selling off that debt quickly.
Who is it?
That I don't know off the bat. Treasuries are definitely, the yields are spiking based on the fact that someone's selling cheaper than what their face value is. That's the problem with the banks.
Interesting.
We keep 10-year treasuries. But the market looking forward, I expect contraction, meaning your prices are going to stay relatively stable, all things involved, because what you're going to see is that if they don't have to sell, they're not going to sell, and they're going to just get, buyers are going to get frustrated, then they're going to lower interest rates, and then a whole bunch of houses will come back on the market, and it'll be a frenzy. That would be the second scenario. So it's either going to go this way, or they're going to lower interest rates. It's an election year, so nobody wants unemployment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, someone's going to say, okay, it's time to make money cheap again. Yeah, make money cheap again. That should be a saying.
Make money cheap.
I'm gonna make that a meme. Making money cheap again. Yes, there's nothing like credit on the cheap. It really is. It's nice to have cheap. It's like
It is, yeah.
Dude,
Who wouldn't?
and it's funny. You're 23,
Yes.
and you only know rates
Yes.
so low that there's like,
Yes, that's what I know.
yeah.
I don't know.
She doesn't know like what a
Anything
credit
else?
card is at 35%.
No.
Back when I had a credit card, my first credit card was like 32.5%. That's like usury. It's insane. But yeah, it was like insane. My first card was a JCPenney card.
Really?
And I don't even know why I got it.
JCPenney.
I got it at a sign up.
Discount.
There's our chorus. No, discount. I didn't even. No, I was giving her like a free teddy bear for my girlfriend at the San Gennaro feast in Brooklyn.
Oh my god!
They're like, you get a free teddy bear, and I said, if you fill out an application for a credit card. It turned out to be JCPenney.
Wow.
And damn it, I used it.
That's so.
She used it. I didn't have anything to at JCPenney. If she's watching this, she probably knows who it is too. Anyway, it's always entertaining. So that's where we're at, folks. And if you have a question, we may have a solution or a answer. And just, she's got such a goofy smile. So she just.
Sorry, guys.
But anyway, you just let us know what that question would be. We'd love to answer it and get you an answer on like what's going on with the market, because it's definitely
weird one.
Crazy times. But that's our report for today, and we'll see you in a week with New Jersey, and we'll be right locked down tight. That one I promise.
Yeah.
It'll be locked down.
Yeah. We'll have a whole
total serious
presentation.
You gotta just throw JoJo out. No. When we have to watch.
No.
She's the peanut gallery.
The peanut.
She gives commentary from the. We're gonna call it the commentary from the corner.
Yeah. Yes, in the corner.
Commentary from the corner. Follow our Prodigy lifetime series. Anyway, we'll see you next week. We'll see you Friday, actually, and hopefully we'll have JoJo find something very entertaining, because we need to get more entertaining in that department for sure.
I can't wait.
She's going to be doing it in a clown costume. That's going to be the...
A clown costume.
Halloween theme?
Yes.
Stay tuned for that, guys.
Halloween theme. God help me. Anyway,
All right,
who knows how that
guys.
could turn out? A Halloween theme.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I think you guys should do that.
Yeah.
Halloween theme.
I don't know about that. We'll see.
All right.
Yes. So anyway,
Well.
next week we'll see you. Ciao.
Bye, guys. See ya.